Hey Waldwick, Mr. Rutz here, and this is my first video in guiding you through Autodesk Inventor. So the first thing that we're going to do is create ourselves this bracket, and it's going to guide us through some of the basic stages of using Autodesk Inventor, including Sketch and Extrude, also using some of the measurement tools, and editing using the model browser. So let me start by shrinking my head. Great. So what you're going to do is go to the application menu and you're going to a new part. I don't have to explain that. So additionally, when you make a new part, it depends. So when you click new, create a file from a list of templates, sometimes it may benefit you to create something in metric units or in inches or imperial units. So what we want is standard measurements. So when you make your part, use standard measurements. And also, I'm going to kind of sift through pages on this. It is 30-something pages long, but there's no reason why you wouldn't be able to finish this within, well within that hour, as long as you're going through quickly. So here we go. Introduction. Parametric means that the geometric definitions of a design can be varied at any time. Great. This is parametric CAD software. So you're creating an object and you're editing it step by step, either adding pieces or subtracting. So let's see. The adjuster. Making a new object. New. Great. English. Yep. There we go. This is, let's see, model browser, app menus up here. We have our tool. We have our ribbon and ribbon tabs, and also the graphics window. Great. So first thing that they talk about are parameters. So you're going to create an object kind of like this. I click Start New Sketch, and I'm going to choose the XY work plane. Now, when you start this, you're just going to make an object that looks like this. Just basically an L. Now, you'll notice that I've got lines that are not straight. Well, the first thing that I want to point out is the parameters. Up in this corner, or not a corner, middle of the screen on mine. In the Sketch tab, you have these buttons that will constrain or limit your lines or sketches. So tangent, it would allow circles or curves to just touch a line at one point. Perpendicular would make it a 90-degree angle. You have parallel. So for this object, I want this to be straight. I'm going to use parallel. Great. Alternatively, I can undo, and I can use the perpendicular, and I choose the two lines that should be perpendicular. That's all constraints are. It's like snaps that you want to use specifically for a drawing. Now, the next thing that we got to do is dimension this. So, the dimension tool. You click this, and there's basically like a logical pattern that happens here. You click it, and so the computer knows, oh, okay, I'm looking for dimensions. So now I have to specify where. So you could just click a line, and then it's going to tell you what it currently is, 2.508. So now what you do is drop the dimension, and if you press the dimension, you can edit its size. So once again, one method of doing this is click dimension, click the object, move to the side, drop the dimension, and now you can edit the dimension. At any time, you can press Escape to deselect the dimension tool. You can click here to move or delete. So now what I'm going to do is pause, and I'm going to do the dimensions. Then I recommend you pause the video, copy those dimensions. Voila, it's done. So now I'm skipping ahead to page 20, what is it? 9. On page 29, oh no. I don't know what page. We're going to extrude it. So first I have to finish my sketch. And now I'm going to use the Extrude tool that's in the Create section of the 3D Model tab. Press Extrude, Now, when you press extrude, you're going to get this pop-up box with all your different options. First one, profile, will tell you what object to, you click the object that you want to extrude. Output, we have surface versus solid. Surface would just give you this. I typically use solid. And here, extents, you can change some options. Just leave it at distance, and we're using, oh, I must have switched. Okay, I'm just working in millimeters today, apparently. 2.5. If you ever need to edit this, you right-click, and you're in the navigation bar. You're going to right-click extrusion. If I wanted to change the shape, I could edit the sketch. If I wanted to change the extrusion, I edit the feature. The extrusion is a feature, and the sketch is a sketch. There's other options for the extrusion as well. So here I've got one direction. When I click this, it's going to extrude the opposite way. When I click this, it symmetrically extrudes both ways, and when I click this last one, you actually specify two different distances because it'll extrude both directions in whatever dimension that you say. So I'm just going to pick one for now. Cool, that's done. Next thing we need to do is on page 29. Page 29. So we start our sketch, and what we're doing is we're going to draw on the top of the surface. One major note with this is that even though I'm drawing on the surface, I don't have to draw on the surface. So I can draw on this work plane or this surface that I've specified and then extrude later. You're going to need to make a shape like this, and you're going to dimension it the way that I dimension it now. I lied, I didn't do the whole thing. I just did one dimension, but I thought it might be valuable that you see how I dimension this. So I click here. This is going to be 2.5. Woo! I'm going to undo that. I'm going to dimension this right here. I clicked one object, click the other, drop this. This is going to be 0.75. Okay. And now this dimension I'm going to change to 2.5. Great. Now I'm going to change this. It's got to be 2.5. Great. Now there's only one thing left. I have to change the distance from here to here to make it 0 because I want it to be just touching. Same thing here. So I know I'm going fast, but you can replay. So the dimension from this edge to this edge in height is 0. Same thing with the right edge and the left edge of the object that I already have. Finish my sketch, and I'm going to extrude this object. I'll click the profile right here, and I want it to go down to match it's going to go down 2.5, and here we've got this. Almost there. Next thing, we're going to do another sketch, and it's going to be a circle. Circle's another drawing tool. To use this, you just click, and then you're going to type your diameter, which I believe is 0.75. Yep, page 33, 0.75. Great. Dimensioning a circle. If I click the outside of the circle, the circumference of it, it's going to change the diameter. I don't want that. I want to move it, so I use the center point. While I'm in the same sketch, I click the center, I click the right edge, drop my dimension. I'm going to change this to 0.75. Now, the other thing I need to do is the height. I want that to be, oh, I was close, 1.25. Awesome. Beautiful. I finished my sketch, like I clicked right there. I click extrude, and now I'm going to choose that circle. We don't want it up, we want it down. And we can use the cut tool. So join is going to fill it, all that space with the existing object that we have. Cut is going to take the sketch that I just drew and cut it into the object. And then intersect is only going to keep where those two objects are both existing in the same spot, intersecting. So I choose cut. I say, okay, beautiful. Look, oh, gorgeous. Now I'm going to do is my last bit. I'm going to draw on this edge. Now if you look at the dimensions on page 36, take your line tool from that top corner. I make sure I have 90 degrees. I can also just type, I press tab, 0 degrees, and I'm going to make this 1, should be inch, whatever. Now, same deal here. I got my angle showing. Now, I'm going to press tab, and I want a 45-degree angle. But I don't know the distance because I don't know how to do the Pythagorean theorem off the top of my head. So instead, I'm just going to lock it at 45 degrees, and I'm going to extend until it snaps. Last thing I'm going to do is take my line, close off this shape, finish my sketch, and I'm going to extrude this in, but instead of distance, let's get fancy. Let's use 2. Now what this means is I'm going to choose a surface that is going to extrude to. So I choose the back. Say okay. Oh, wow, gorgeous. Except I rotated it the wrong way. No. So what I just did, I messed up and I drew my object the wrong way. So I right-click the view cube and you can see, set current view as home. I don't know what these do, but I fixed it. No, I didn't. I right-click, set current view as. Okay. There we go. Right-click, set current view as front. Cool. Now I fixed it. So, in case you run into the same issue as I did, where your object isn't on the right path, there we go. You can right-click the view cube, and you can set your home. That's it. 37 pages. Done. In 12 minutes and 15 seconds, keep on designing, keep on building.